Hello and welcome back to another fine episode of Shipboxes or Best Builds. I'm going to take a look around and see what we've got on the map today. If we've got 3 of them, we'll jump around and look at that. Looks like there are 2 of the... No, there's 3. There's one way the hell down here. Let's go check out the first one that's closest to us first, which is over here. It's the Forest House Crimson build. See if it's any good. Now, I haven't really came up with a really good format for this series. What my idea has been is to jump around, look at the different best builds. Let's just look at the listing for this one. Okay, so this is the Forest House Crimson build by Pomada 2702. I think that's how you pronounce it. They have 7 likes on this build. Here's hoping it's a good build. Unfortunately, it's nighttime here, and for some reason, ever since the most recent update, they actually tried to make the nighttime look like the nighttime, for God's sakes. So we're going to take a look at this place. They've got a reinforced back wall with a generator that's exposed. This probably should be behind a barricade if you were actually trying to make defenses for a location. I like these new barricades. They're from the current scoreboard, if I recall correctly. They have put out their plants in this. I'm not going to call it a greenhouse, but more like a walled garden. These plots are from one of the previous scoreboards or score count. I don't remember if it was on a board or if it was on a calendar at this point, or I don't think it was one of the new ones. I think it was one of the last of the old ones. I liked it a lot. The only problem is this doesn't always snap into locations well. Like, meaning it doesn't always want to snap to regular foundations. It'll snap to itself fairly well, but like, I would have probably wanted to snap this to this foundation over here, so I didn't have this stupid seam between the two. And this person might have wanted to do that too, but like I said, they don't really want to snap. This is a best build, so there's no point looking at that. Take a look inside, decoration-wise. So this is basically a level 25 to level 35's camp. They have a bunch of these things. The bobbleheads, it's I personally don't use those very often as a decoration anymore. I used to all the time. They've got a few atomic shop items, a lot of different items from different scoreboards, different events. I mean, it's not a bad build. If I was judging it on the criteria that I judge someone who's in world, I would give it on a scale of 1 to 10, probably about a 3 or a 4, because it's one of those builds that it has potential, but it's not really grand. And it's in a low-level area, so it's basically the perfect place to set up a camp for vending. But the problem with this kind of camp is this is a best builds camp, so this is the best build this person can do. And if it is your best build, contact your closest customer service, and this is as good as you can do, look at your house or your apartment. You have a bathroom in your apartment. You have a kitchen in your apartment. I'm pretty sure you got a living room, or at least a dining room, or something that pretends to be one. It ain't here. Anyway. Moving right along. Alright, where was the next one at? Up here by the Pumpkin House. Resort Recreation Nuka World Tour build. Let's see. We shall see. This is Cami August 11's build. They've got 1 like on it so far. Again, let me point this out to you guys if you didn't know. If you go to one of these camps and you're supposed to make a like for a challenge, if you don't actually like the camp, you can like the camp and then unlike the camp. You can take your likes back. They are not something that has to be permanently associated with something like this. Okay, so they built an over-the-road camp. You've got a barn prefab here, which in my wide world of crap would get you, well, would get you 2 points to start off with. Still using a light because the sun's still not up yet and it's still nighttime. They've used a lot of little prefabs around. They put stuff in the middle of the road, which I think is kind of funny. They built all the way across the road here. You'd think they would have just went ahead and put a second set of stairs down over here and made it look like it was like one of the overpass bridges. It's just down that way. You can see it from here. You've got the 2 CD sheds. Yeah, I'm not going to do that, thanks. So, here's where I say something. I hope this is a work in progress for the person building it. That they submitted this because this is the one that they want to submit later on, and it's still just kind of, you know, a work in progress. And if you didn't know, you can do that to the single door windows like that on the brick set, but you can't do that with a double pane windows like the other set up there. But yeah, it is a, I want to say it looks like a yard sale, but it doesn't look that good. I wouldn't give it anything higher than a 2 because it's kind of a piece of shit. And I sure as hell don't think this rates as a best build in any way, shape, or form. I'm having issues with best builds in general because there are a lot of them that are placed in locations where resources are easily obtainable, so you can put down your own resource farm, like, you know, a lead location or acid locations, junk locations, any of those kind of places, you know. The problem with putting a place like this or any best build location in those locations is that if I log into the world, I can't log my camp into it, even though I'm actually sitting there playing the damn game. And that might be the only camp that I have that has those resources that I can get to. And I might need them. If I'm a real player logging into an area, as soon as a real player logs in and their camp is going to be occupied by one of these camps should dis-a-fucking-peer, in my opinion. They should just automatically kill this because the person that's logging in should take priority because they're an actual player versus a semi-static camp. Alright, so this one is Air Force Zero's camp. And if you didn't hear that, I said this camp would have been a 2 that I'm currently standing out. Air Force Zero's camp looks like it's actually designed to be a cabin in Skyline Valley. And they've pushed it back far enough that the weather shouldn't affect it too much. Also, you shouldn't have a lot of spawns around it. That being said, we shall see. So there in the distance you can see the great red thing that is Skyline Valley's Eye of Doom. Let's take a quick peek here. Kill my light. Widen this out. I'll turn back on the light. We're gonna need it. So they have a weather control machine. They put out snow. Nice time of year for it. They've got the mailbox. Go ahead and take a quick peek around. It's consistently built out of the same material, and they have the water tower actually going into the foundation like it's actually providing water for the build, which is a nice touch. You got two different vaults out here. One follower. The lantern should probably be, well, they're almost uniform. The problem is this porch right here kind of makes it look kind of funky, because the angled pieces of porch that give you this nice end cap also give you a downward slant on that edge of the roof. Which is good if you're going, you know, to do this. But I like the fact that they put their hot water heater right here. Like it's an oil tank, like what it looks like. Come up in here. You've got your workroom.
Would you like to join my scavenger hunt? Today
And it
we're
is
gathering.
also got their
Unstable
power
nuclear
in it.
waste.
Their charging unit. But as you can tell, everything you basically need in a camp is in here. That you want to have. Everything else is pure aesthetic. So let's see how they did there. Very nice. Those are on... Well, they're merged into place, basically. A nice bathroom.
Lean back and take a deep
A decent
breath.
little kitchenette.
It'll all be okay.
By the way, you can merge these two items here, the coffee maker and the company tea, into one unit if you do it properly. You can access both still at the same time, and it'll look fairly decent if you get the right color scheme. Just an FYI for you. Nice Thanksgiving dinner. Somebody left a few flowers, looks like a few flowers poked out of the floor, and they put a couch over top of it to cover it. And it looks like somebody just had some and left them on the couch now, which is kind of cool.
There's no time to be upset anymore. Let it all
I
go.
like the view. Without my light, this is what we've got. They need in here some warmer lights, some yellow, like the firelight colors. The yellowish reds and oranges, and they need that in this area. More of it to bring it all together. The white static light makes it feel both cold, which is fine given the fact that they put up the snow machine, but also a little bit industrial, which isn't fine because it's not even remotely what they're going for. I don't like that at all, but I understand why they did it. Some nice little merges. Another nice bathroom, this one with a full bath. Nice bedroom. I think that's one of the first things that I bought in the atomic shop was that bed. So, not a bad build overall. Built rather well. Appointed rather well. And I'm pretty sure that the world that I'm on is the reason why this stuff's
Hey,
sticking through, but
world's
that's
tough out there.
the way it is.
Don't make it tough inside yourself, too.
So if I was judging this on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give this one a nice 7 or an 8. It's well built. It could use some tweaking. Nothing major, just some minor stuff. The kind of stuff that, like, you know, would bring up its score by a point or two just by doing it. Like changing out those lights or making their workshop look a little better, some alternate choices, and just some really, really minor things. I can see they're headed in the right direction and they're making headway in that way. If this is their best build, I can understand it. They did do merges. They did a lot of the classic tricks and things like that that are shown in so many videos. Some of them I've shown you guys in some of my videos for tutorials. But the biggest problem they've got is the choice of light. The light makes a house. If you don't understand what I mean, the reason why your house feels like your home is because the way light plays in your home. This feels very industrial. It feels almost like it's foggy, to be honest, looking at it. I don't like the fact that the sink things stick through the floor. There are ways to get around that.
Everything has its own song, you know?
But I understand why it's there. But the lights, there are so many lights in this game that you could change out to make things feel warmer. Like this is a cabin in the woods in a snowstorm. It should feel freaking warm in here. Not like a lost memory. Which wouldn't be a bad name for this build, actually. Anyway, let's see if I can find a decent build to show you that's not a best build that's on this server. And not one of mine preferred. Let's see, is he still on? No, he's gone. Alright. Well, I guess we will just go ahead and pick one and see what we come up with. Let's go with Ghost Dragon 65's build. We shall take a quick peek and see exactly what kind of trash we are looking at. Actually, I want to know what the general building style and technique of people are in general, because there are so many, there's only so many ways you can put together a house in this game, but there are a lot of ways that you can influence the way that house looks just by changing out, let's say, foundations or lights. So this is a collector's kit. This is their workroom. See, my thing is always to, instead of just building a room full of stuff to work on something, if you're going to do that, you might as well build yourself a garage. Helmchen does a great job with that. But my whole thing is to incorporate these things into my house in such a way that it makes sense for them to be there.
Pardon me.
Yep, pardon you.
I just can't shake these nightmares. Floating in space forever. Just why?
Yep. So I rate camps on a scale of 1 to 10. If you have a bathroom, I give you a point. If you use a prefab, I give you 2 points. Hello. you build a shitbox, I usually tell you you built a shitbox. Hmm. I'm just kind of walking around, kind of in a stupor, as to why you would build something this freaking big. I mean, because this is a big camp. You look at this building. This is an actual big, well-built building. And there's freaking nothing here. I mean, there is literally nothing here. It is just freaking amazing to me. Like, this is like one of the perfect examples of what a best build should be. It's just amazing. I mean, Ghost Dragon 65, you have done a hell of a job at making me realize that this is a shitty build you built, dude. I'm sorry, but it is bad.
I just can't shake these
Like,
nightmares.
real bad.
Floating in space forever.
And I don't understand why at all it would be so bad. I mean, unless it's like your goal to make crappy builds, it just doesn't make any sense to me at all. It just doesn't. It's just, it is flabbergasted. I mean, like, you could literally take off an entire floor of this build, and all the stuff would be perfectly fine fitting in it. You could literally take off an entire floor of this build and probably 8 tiles on the side, and it would still, it would be a better build than it is now, just because it would be more compact and more stuff would be in a tighter space, and you would have a crap ton of budget to do decorating and things like that. I mean, if this is the best that you can do, if this is the absolute best build that you can make, please set it on fire. My God. And this right here, I understand why you put these here. You were trying to give your porch some structure. But dude, these, you don't put posts like that. They just, no. No. I mean, no. Good Lord. Crap. Anyway, this has been my character Punchline, and this has been Ren for Ren's Wasteland Camp Reviews slash, it's not that, it's, what do you call it?
I just can't shake these nightmares.
I got that on.
Floating in space forever.
So hard to tell anymore with the lighting in this game. Nah, this has been, shitboxes are best builds, and all of them have been shitboxes today, unfortunately, in one way or another, except for that one. There's one build that could honestly wear the title of best build with pride, and it is the one that is way down here, this cabin in Skyline Valley. And it is by far not a wonderful, well-built thing. It is a decent build, and it has some decent bones, but it needs a bit of work. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, have fun. I know I did. Well, sort of. Talk to you later.